There's no way for me to start congratulating the people sitting here today until I recognize the people who should be. So many of the accomplishments that we have today are built on the support, encouragement, and memories made with the people that we call family. Today is about them as much as it is about each one of us, which is why it feels a bit confusing why there are some whose hands we can't shake today, some who we had to say goodbye to instead of congratulations. Duke Carrillo and Miles James were both graduates of the Naval Academy Preparatory School class of 2018. They were members of the best platoon, 1-1, and were known for their kindness and infectious positivity. Today, after a long and arduous 5 years, even I question whether I could muster up the cheerfulness that I know Duke would have had if he was sitting in the stands today. Whether he was introduced to us as a BTT partner, a summer seminar squad leader, or just a friend for a struggling classmate, Duke Carrillo will be remembered by everyone who met him like an older brother who could make us laugh even at life's most difficult moments. Miles James has been a teammate to many and a helping hand to anyone he meets, whether that means providing advice, a last-minute car ride, or just something hot off the grill. When Duke passed, Miles was one of the first to champion the armbands that we made in Duke's honor. Now, it is our job to honor them both. Please join me in a moment of silence for our fallen classmates. Miles and Duke will be the first two honorary graduates from the class of 2022, as their memory is what got many of us past the finish line. The selection of honorary graduates of the graduating class is designed to recognize individuals who have had an impact on the graduating class throughout their 4 years at the Naval Academy. Our first honorary graduate is May Blue. Though some of you may know her as Grandma, Miss May, or maybe just Mama, everyone on this campus has seen her face and felt her impact. She is, quote, the kind lady from behind the counter who serves as a reminder for us to slow down every once in a while, laugh, and share a smile with someone who might need it. More than an essential worker, she has made herself an essential person to so many of us by stepping out of her job in the mid-store to create meaningful conversation, attend concerts, and stand in where so many of us felt the distance or absence of family. Every day, May Blue is proof that true leadership lies outside the occupational and within the relational. Our second honorary graduate is Senior Chief Bill Sisk. A well-beloved senior enlisted leader on the yard, Senior Chief Sisk is undeniably memorable. While he's never been one to shy from correction, he's also the kind of staff duty officer to cook chili for the midshipmen who are on restriction over the summer. There are few other faculty or staff who are as exceptional and devoted to the class of 2022 and our cause as good human beings. Today is Senior Chief's last day in the Navy, and he couldn't be more proud to salute every one of us to relieve his watch. I believe I speak for the majority when I say, the feeling is mutual, Senior. Thank you and fair winds. And last but certainly not least, our third honorary graduate is Dr. Zachary Howe, a mathematics department instructor and mathematics learning specialist. One student says, he stays here well past the time he's required to. I've seen him running EI right up until TAPS, and he does so regularly. Another states, his review sessions and willingness to conduct extra instruction have helped hundreds of mids over the years to succeed in areas they never thought possible. He never gives up on any of his students. While I stumbled through Physics 2 myself, Dr. Howe had patience with me, and that patience turned into my perseverance. Thank you for all you've done, sir, and continue to do to keep this school running. One of the first events I organized as class president was our Bonds of Gold ceremony here in Memorial Hall. I watched as these men shared powerful lessons learned through a life of service and shook hands with midshipmen that they had never met. At the time, we were in the depths of COVID with masks covering every face in the room. And yet, even as grocery stores and airlines became unreliable, we learned that day that we could rely on the class of 1972 to be there for us. That is what a Bond of Gold looks like. Thank you for teaching us at Bonds of Gold, Commitment Dinner, Ring Dance, and now graduation, what it means to show up. We can find security and pride in this institution because of your devotion, and we could only hope to replicate what you have shown us when the time comes to mentor the great class of 2072. Thank you. To the class of 2023, thanks for not taking it easy on us. As we began our youngster year, you were our first real experiments in leadership. what it meant to have full responsibility for the actions and well-being of another person because that's how much they trust and respect you. We did pretty well, but we were young. We made mistakes. You were younger. You made a few more. And yet on the other side, I know that it was our blind spots which allowed us to overlook the stumbling blocks in your path. You should learn quickly how to turn your shortcomings into lessons. On our journey to the excellence we stand in today, none of us can say we've been able to escape imperfection. Nevertheless, I can look at many of you sitting here today and say I am proud to have helped author a brighter chapter in your story. You will know what it is to feel this pride soon enough, and you will know the weight of the responsibility that comes with it. I pray you don't take either of them for granted. Fair winds and following seas, 23. And finally, my comments for the graduating class of 2022. Contrary to popular belief, I have about as much of a clue about the future as any of you, so today I will do my best to stay brief, to remain useful, and stay honest. Here's what I can honestly say about this class. You are 1,100 in number. That's 1,100 testimonies, 1,100 survival strategies for getting from I-Day to graduation. No matter what it took to get here, each one of you is one of those success stories, and it is my privilege to see you sitting in the stadium today as proof of your resilience. Here's what I can honestly say about myself. My grandmother, who was sitting in the stands this past Friday, is the daughter of a sharecropper from North Carolina. To help her family survive, she had to learn the importance of early mornings during the harvest season. When I was young, I used to wonder why, even after all those years, I could still find her sitting by the window of her DC townhouse, reading scripture, and watching the sunrise at 6 o'clock in the morning. But her father had taught her the importance of that early morning, so she kept it alive. And now I, like so many of you, have had to acquaint myself with the struggle of being shaken up in the morning, or sometimes being shaken at the crack of dawn. And even still, I would like to think those hard early mornings were the piece of my great-grandfather that has never died. I believe there are pieces of this class that will never die because we are unafraid of the struggle required to keep them alive. Yes, the struggle of waking up at 5:30 in the middle of June to run intervals with people you've never met. The challenge of maintaining contact with those people who you would call family only 2 years later in the midst of a global pandemic. The inner turmoil of holding that same brother or sister accountable because none of us can say we got everything right. All of it hurt, and yet the struggle reminded us that we were still here, still working towards that mission of physical, mental, and moral excellence. Like the Apostle Paul has said, I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. I am grateful to be surrounded today by people who are so obsessed with living that they are afraid of settling for comfort. This is what the class of 2022 has produced in our time here. 41 of our classmates will be continuing their education at colleges across the country through our immediate or voluntary graduate education programs, to include our 2 Knight Hennessy scholars, Chase Lee and Will Jarrett, who will attend Stanford University in the fall. Our varsity team secured the N-Star victory over West Point by the highest margin in USNA history. And multiple of our Division I athletes have been offered the chance to pursue athletic careers in the NFL and professional soccer after graduation. There was little comfort in the work that they had to do to achieve this level of performance. Behind these notable accomplishments also lie the small victories, the tiny, defining moments, which developed us in ways that we can only see now at the end of these 4 years. Quiet as it's kept, these infinitesimal chapters will live longer in our memories than the titles or the stripes we carry. I can certainly say they'll live in mine. The obscure musical theater reference that Sarah Skinner made to cheer me up in the Nimitz coffee line may have been more impactful to me than the honors thesis that made her our 54th Rhodes Scholar, although I can say I was there for both. I don't know how fast my NAPS Indoc squad leader promoted or what his military order of merit was while he was at the academy, but I know he taught me how to shave. And I have no idea where the fleet will take each of you, but my mind is full of valuable and motivating memories where each of you were leaders, mentors, warriors, and students alike. I have no doubt that each of you in this field have stories just like mine, corners of you that were chiseled in place by the rough but intentional edges of this school. If you are grateful for these memories, then I have good news for you. Everything you are as a result of this school can be multiplied 100 times over the sailors and Marines you will mentor in the fleet. Take that leadership challenge as an opportunity and Rise to it. There is no doubt in my mind that after what we have experienced here, our Navy and Marine Corps team becomes more lethal the second your covers go into the air. In this class, I see the capability to impact the lives of millions. Perhaps in this way, not all of what we have created here will die. Non omnis moriar. Congratulations, 22. Keep taking care of each other. This is only the beginning.